Hello, dear friends. Opinion piece. Land without evil. The Guarani people believe in it. They also believe in an earthly punishment. It is an earthly paradise called Yvy Mara Ey. Its inhabitants live in permanent joy. It is an abundant place where one never grows old. To keep it, you have to have the right way of being. To reach it, one must travel a spiritual path. The Guarani practice homeopathic magic for fertility. Let's start. All ethnicities and cultures are a great treasure for all mankind, and the Guarani are no exception, but rather a wonder with their might of an earth without evil, where human miseries do not exist. It is a realm of balance and peace with oneself, with the community, with the environment, and with the divine. A land of love, compassion, and forgiveness. As the Guarani sages say, your body is made of earth, your breath is made of wind, your mind is made of light, your heart is made of love, your soul is made of stars, and your spirit is made of eternity. Follow the voice of your soul. Among the Tupi Guarani peoples, who spread throughout much South America, and mainly in the states of Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina, there is the might of the land without evil. It speaks of a territory that can be understood as of the beyond, but that can also be found in the hereafter, in the physical time and the space of the living, according to Jesus González Pazos. Hidden Paradise. The Guarani people have a story that tells of the existence of a paradise on earth. It is a place abundant in natural resources, where one never grows old. In the north of Argentina, we can find that the Guarani people still I talked about the might of the land without evil. This story tells of the existence of an earthly paradise called Yvy Mara Ey, which can be accessed without dying. According to this story, this fantastic place is located towards the east. Thus, the legend says that in this land there is abundant vegetation. In addition, every human being has a generous plot of land that produces rich harvests without the need for much work. On the other hand, other versions suggest that the site is full of crystalline rivers, abundant fish, birds, and animals, in such a way that it is not necessary to work to subsist. The land Yvy in Guarani needs to be cared for continuously throughout the maintenance of correct behavior in line with the just way of being. According to Guarani mythology, the care of the earth has been entrusted to the Guarani by its creator, our great father, a superior entity who retired after creation in places inaccessible to humans, except for the political religious leaders of the Guarani groups. The Guarani practice homeopathic magic to influence vegetation and some vital events such as fertility. How to get there? To reach the land without evil, it's necessary to travel a long spiritual path. Although this paradise has always been considered the abode for the dead, some claim to be able to reach it while alive. For these reasons, the holiest men of the villages offer long fasts and practice goodness. As a reward for a righteous life in the earthly paradise, one doesn't grow old. In fact, one is there with a new body for all eternity. However, it should be made clear that human beings do not become gods just because they have reached such place. In opposition to the paradise of the earth without devil, the Guarani also believe in an earthly punishment. One of the reasons that pushes these people to travel in an easterly direction is to save themselves from the great fire. That is, in an apocalyptic time, enormous flames of fire will devour the earth. Afterwards, a great flood will wipe out all traces of existence. However, the earth without evil will always remain intact, with its inhabitants in permanent joy. Indeed, the search for the promised land led them to settle in northern Argentina. Breaking news. Colombia's former army chief to be charged with extrajudicial killings. Colombia's Attorney General's office will charge former Army Commander General Mario Montoya with responsibility for 104 extrajudicial killings as part of the false positive scandal, it is said Sunday. Former 100-year-old death camp guard to go on trial in Germany. A 100-year-old former guard at the Nazi concentration camp Sachsenhausen near Berlin will face trial in the fall. 76 years after the end of the World War II, the German weekly Welt am Sonntag reported. Nearly 600 arrested and 10 police officers injured during protests against restrictions in Berlin. Nearly 600 people were arrested Sunday in Berlin during protests against restrictions in which more than 10 law enforcement officers were also injured, police said. US and Britain believe Iran attacked Israeli oil tanker off Oman. The US and Britain said Sunday they believed Iran carried out an attack on an Israeli-run oil tanker off the coast of Oman on Thursday that killed a Briton and a Romanian, both vowing to work with partners to respond. Uncontrolled wildfire forces evacuation of 4 villages in Greece's Peloponnese region. The fire has affected several villages in the Greek Peloponnese, which have had to be evacuated. Greece suffers fires in the midst of a heat wave that reaches 45 degrees in some areas. The Peloponnese region is the worst affected days after flames destroyed several residents in a neighborhood of Athens. The total area burnt is not yet known. The fire that originated on Saturday afternoon in the surroundings of the Pantano de San Juan in San Martín de Valdeiglesias has been officially controlled at 9 p.m. this Sunday, and the community of Madrid thus passes from level 1 to level 0 of the Infoma plan. The High Court of Justice of Asturias has overturned the claims of the regional government to apply a curfew between 1 and 6 in the morning from Monday in Oviedo, Gijón, and 6 other councils in which live more than 630,000 people, 61% of the population of the Principality. Digital currencies. The IMF expects to play a crucial role in the transformation of digital currencies. A paper released by the International Monetary Fund says it will need to bolster its resources as it seeks to monitor, advise and help manage the complex and large-scale transition to digital currency. Sources claim that the global implementation of digital currency is the next step towards the transition to the quantum financial system, QFS. Countries are already stockpiling foreign currencies in preparation for this transition, as assets will be required to back the digital currency. The paper states state that digital currencies can facilitate and accelerate payments and reduce their costs, but this requires policy makers to address key challenges, as digital cash must be trusted and national economic and financial stability and the stability of the international monetary system must be protected. He added the IMF has a crucial role to play in helping its members benefit from the benefits of digital cash and manage its risks. He continued, digital money should be subject to regulatory oversight, and its structure and the form in which it is available should allow countries to continue to control monetary policy, financial conditions, and exchange rate systems. The paper does not focus on cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, nor does it take a position on what type of digital currency might ultimately triumph. The paper from last March, which was discussed by the IMF board in April, includes a vision for the fund's development and its efforts to cooperate with other institutions such as central banks, regulators, and the World Bank. Freedom. Are you impressed or depressed? First of all, I was never impressed by Marxism, socialism, communism, fascism, authoritarianism, totalitarianism, Orwellianism, globalism, or any New World Order agenda that was generated from ego, because it only represents depression, decadence, and death. Very few at the top live in the opulence of their ivory towers, looking down from above on the humble slaves who want nothing more than to be free. However, I am all for a new divine order arising from the mind of Christ, which is the Holy Spirit's message of freedom, courage, love, and forgiveness. Freedom is creative license. Slavery is the death of creativity. Slavery breeds hatred, dissension, and murderous thoughts of revenge. And we are at the door. Hell hath no fury like a free people scorned. Strong, willed people can accomplish amazing things, and often deaths are the cost of the freedom they so fervently seek. Science becomes religion. The popular slogan today is "Believe in science." It is often used as a weapon against people who reject not science in principle, without one or another major scientific proposition. My purpose here is not to defend or deny any particular scientific position, but to question the model of science from which the loudest self-proclaimed believers in science seem to work. Their model makes science seem almost identical to what they mean, and they attack others as if it were a religion. If that's the case, we shouldn't listen to them when they lecture the rest of us on how to pay attention to science, because they are anything but scientific. Thanks a lot, dear friends.